Readers,
reviewers,
countrymen,
lend us your ears.
Good morning to viewers, readers, book collectors. Today is a special video for those book collectors because we are going to go over we've chosen 5 of our favourite books each that are our special copies.
Yeah.
Copies that have a special place in our hearts.
So some might be that they were Goldsborough editions or maybe like an anniversary, but also some of them are just editions that might have some more sentimental value, as you'll see as we get further along in this video.
Absolutely.
And also in our 5 I had to cheat a bit. If there's a collection, I'm counting that as 1 because it's too hard. We will do
quite a few other videos because it was very sad actually. It's quite heartbreaking taking books off the shelves and then
I've already got 5.
You have to stay. I've got 5 chosen. It's like choosing the England squad, So
we've
got to leave some at home. Anyway, let's get into it. My first choice is The Trouble with Peace by Joe Abercrombie. Now, this is a beautiful Goldsborough edition
nice.
With lovely blue sprayed edges. I haven't read this book yet, but I know I'm going to love it. When I saw the Goldsborough edition, I just had to snap it up. I think Dad has the Goldsborough Little Hatred one. So when we put it together, William will get the Goldsborough The Wisdom of Crowds, which I believe will be in either yellow or green, and then we can put them all together and we can just stare at it all day. But that's my first choice.
Every day. And talking of Lord Grimdark, I have the 10th anniversary editions of his original trilogy. And these, actually, from the Broken Binding, signed book plates from Joe Abercrombie as well, which I love. I mean, these covers as well, aren't they just glorious?
Delectable. Of course I can.
And let's just show all 3 of these off. Look at them next to each other. I might have these the wrong way around.
No, they're in the right order.
Look at them. Awesome. I'm really looking forward to getting stuck into these. Do not want to damage them, so I'm going to be very careful with them. But I love having some signed editions. We had the pleasure of meeting Joe Abercrombie a few years ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think we were both a bit dumbstruck. I think we were going to go in there with some jokes. And
we were dumb
anyway,
but
we just went, thank you.
Yeah. No, I've met Joe a couple times now. I went to the Golance Festival a couple of years ago now. We shared a whiskey, which was pretty cool. But
Not many people can say they shared
I did get a picture with him
Grimdark
as well. But yeah, he's a great guy. And now on to my second choice is The Sword of Justice by Christian Cameron. Now this is probably my favourite series of Christian Cameron's, and this book holds a very special place on my bookshelves because when I met Christian Cameron, he signed it for me and he said, "For Edward, fellow knight." Now that is just the best thing that anyone could write in a book, especially coming from him, who is actually a real knight. So that meant a lot to me, and that was really cool.
This series has actually had a big impact in your life as well.
Oh yeah, it changed me. It's made me spend probably 80% of my wages on armour. So dangerous, but cool.
Your obsession that takes up most of your life as well.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, this is a very special book in my heart, on my bookshelves. And
the next book I've chosen is The Counsellor by E.J. Beaton. Fantastic book, one of my favourites of 2021. So it's political fantasy, but this is the hardcover edition. The reason this is very special to both of us is that E.J. Beaton actually sent us a letter saying thank you for reviewing and reading The Counsellor. So she sent a letter and she sent with us, I'm still afraid to stick this into the book, so I'm just leaving it like that. It just as it is, and it's also sent us a coin and just a lot to do with the book, and it was just really lovely to receive
nice
that
letter too.
And it's placed The Counsellor, it's given it a special place on my bookshelf, and so I just had to include it in this video. And it's a great book on its own, yet alone with, I've talked to E.J. Beaton quite a lot. She's actually helped me with some of my assessments as well, because she's just so knowledgeable about Shakespeare and Machiavellian research and politics. So I went to her and she really helped me. A lovely author who can also write a fantastic book. And here is my collection of the Tom Swan novellas by Christian Cameron.
I'm seeing a bit of a theme,
a bit of a pattern.
This was sent to me very kindly by Robin Carter of Parmenion Books, who printed these. These are very limited special editions, and when I first received them, I was just so amazed. Will, do you want to hold them up?
I will.
I absolutely love them. If anyone knows, I adore the novellas, and they're just such good writing. 15th century, medieval, basically Indiana Jones if he had an arming sword and lived in Italy.
And meant to be a
Okay.
bit of a cross with Merlin. As
Yeah,
well.
and yeah, absolutely. It's a very episodic. If this was written for TV, then it's perfect. I could definitely see this as a Netflix adaptation that people would just flock to. So these are some of my favourite books of all time.
And my next choice is the first 2 installments of one of my favourite series of all time, and it is Robin Hobb's Farseer trilogy. First 2 special editions. Just look at these. Oh, I just love them so much. There's artwork inside it. It really just brings it to life, doesn't it? And Fitz, as I've talked about so much, is one of my favourite characters. And I remember when I read this, it really did just change the reading experience for me. I think this is the most emotion that I'd felt from a book, and just having these I would sacrifice so much.
The pictures are beautiful, aren't they?
Careful the spine.
I read my copy of Assassin's Apprentice, the illustrated edition, and I was just looking through the pictures. They're just so good, and they add
just so much. And the covers as well, and just the feel of it in your hands as well. I mean, it's quite weighty, isn't it? And I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but obviously
William's had a love affair with this book.
Yeah, these hold a special place in my heart because they are one of my favourite series of all time. And Robin Hobb is a fantastic author. I love her other series as well. So this is my 3rd choice, and it is Robin Hobb's Farseer trilogy.
And my next choice is John Gwynne's. Some bald guy apparently. Yeah. The Shadow of the Gods.
What's his name again?
John Gwynne, I think. Gwynne. No.
Something like that.
Anyway, silly name. Anyway, Goldsboro edition. This is with the orange sprayed edges. Now this is a really lovely edition. First time that Dad's actually had sprayed edges, which is awesome. I think it's a new kind of trend coming about in fantasy and in other books as well, in other genres. There's a few patterns coming onto the sprayed edges now as well, so it's really exciting to see. But I love this edition. This is my favourite book of all time. This is the GOAT in my opinion. Obviously everyone knows that I love Viking history, the Viking period, the Dark Ages, that kind of stuff. And this is basically the Dark Ages if it had giant wolves and that kind of stuff. So I love this book. It's my favourite of Dad's, which is quite high praise considering I weep and weep and weep whenever I read Malice, Valor, Ruin and Wrath. So, but yeah, I love this edition. This will be in a beautiful place on my bookshelves.
And my 4th choice is the very golden special edition of the collection.
William has no money because it has 24 karat gold on the edges.
This is the collection of William Shakespeare
by
plays.
Gucci.
Not quite, but it looks like it, doesn't it? I mean, I think everyone who's watched the channel before knows that I love myself some William Shakespeare.
Who's your favourite character in the Shakespeare play?
Why would you do that to me? I mean, the villains are just the best, aren't they? I mean, Iago and Richard III probably take the throne for me there.
Yeah, I was going to say the exact same.
Or maybe King Lear.
So
King
many.
Yeah. I mean, they are
Would
so
you say
iconic.
King Lear's a villain?
No.
Maybe.
That's a topic for another day.
Yeah.
But this is so awesome. I mean, to have all of these plays just in one place. It's quite magical, I think. And I actually haven't read nearly as many plays of Shakespeare's as I would have liked, but I'm going to rectify that step.
How many plays did he have all in all?
I'm not sure off the top of my head, but
about 30.
Over 30, I think.
33.
I'm not 100%. It's what Ed does. We could be here all day.
How many sonnets did he write?
Oh, a lot.
Will,
I don't know.
You're all about numbers, man.
I don't know the specifics. Put me on the spot here. But my 4th choice for this video is the collection of William Shakespeare's plays, which I love.
And my final book is called Viking Swords by Fedir Androshuk. I think that's how you say it. But anyway, this was sent to me by the awesome Thomas Vasletti from Project Forlog. And that might sound like gibberish to you, but Thomas does amazing research based around the Viking Age period. He goes around looking at into museums, looking at finds that were actually in burials and that kind of stuff. And he does lots of research, looking at text as well, and finds evidence for all sorts different aspects of Norse life. Now, as a Viking reenactor, I love this because it helps me kind of hone in on the details of the period. For example, if I want to portray someone in my reenactment society, someone coming from the town of Birka in Sweden, then I can see all of the evidence and all the materials that were used in Birka at the time. Now, I've spoken to Thomas quite a lot, and he's really helped me with research, and also he sent me this book because I was looking at a sword made by Heron Armoury, which are a fantastic swordsmith in the UK, and he said this is a great book to use if I want to have the correct dimensions, that kind of stuff. So I wanted to be as authentic and accurate as I could, and this book is very rare, and it talks about every single sword found in Sweden, all of the typology, and all of the basically it's just perfect for a geek
Everything
who
you
loves
need is
swords.
in there.
So that kind of thing. There's so many stuff that I could talk, so much stuff that I could talk about Viking swords that people don't really know too much about, which I would love to do another video on very soon. Hopefully maybe when we do a video talking about all of the gear used in Dad's new book, The Shadow of the Gods, and that series. But this is a great book. I love it, and it's a really nice hardback edition as well. So one of my favourites.
So when you go through life, I think you discover most of your passions in your teenage years, or maybe in your early adulthood, but there's a few that stick with you forever, and this last book of mine, this is one that ever since I first watched it and read it and heard stories about it, it's been one of my greatest passions ever. So Ed, would you do me the honour of...
This is a book all about Barbies.
Obviously.
La 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 la.
That was really beautiful.
Thank you. I have the voice.
I want to do it again now. I want to do it again.
La 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 la. I'll stop now.
This is the special collection of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I think you know how much I have talked about The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Well, okay, now let me just say, William is the only person in the world, God love him, who can make Lord of the Rings annoying.
What?
I'm joking. But, in all seriousness, William has spoken about it so much that it has got to the point where I've actually had to ask him before to stop talking about various aspects of Lord of the Rings. Mainly because he talks about, who was Helm Hammerhand's great grandson and all this kind of stuff, and how tall was he?
Did you know that all the Kings of Rohan actually means king?
No, William, are you serious?
Yeah.
What Helm means king?
No, is it so? Helm Hammerhand, all the kings. Don't send me down this rabbit hole where I name everyone.
No, keep going.
No, Ed.
So it means king.
Yeah, so they all mean kings, or they're subversions of
king.
Which is awesome.
Thank you.
But
anyway,
everything else for another. This I have made lists of characters. I have made quizzes. I have read the books back to front.
Literally.
Why do I say back to front before
to
front to back? I mean,
there's
that's obviously how I read.
An age-old question in there that we will not talk about.
And this really does hold such a special place in my heart. And Papa Gwynne actually bought this for me, so it means even more to me. He's the one who introduced it to me, so I owe him. As well as being my father, debt. I also owe him a life debt for introducing me to Lord of the Rings. So thank you, Papa Gwynne. And this is probably my favourite editions that I have in the entire world.
And that's enough about books, editions, nice crispy bacon. For today, please, potatoes, boil and mash them, stick them in a stew. Anyway.
Not these books, don't put them in stew.
Thank you guys for watching our video, of course. Are there any special editions that you maybe have, the same as us? Or are there any editions that you have since childhood, perhaps? Like, William found his passion for Lord of the Rings since a child. Have you got any signed editions, such as the Christian Cameron one that I have? Please let us know in the comments below. What other kind of videos would you like to be watching on this channel, guys? We'd like to make our viewers as happy as possible. If you like seeing these videos of our special editions, please ask for
like
more.
And subscribe if you would like to. And so for now, truth and courage, the Brothers Gwynne.
Stay safe, truth and courage.